Good morning everybody, or good evening, good afternoon, whatever is appropriate for your time zone. Or if you're in Australia, good day mate. Oh well, we are in the windy city of Chicago in Xplane 11 and it's winter time. This is the Nimbus Simulations Chicago O Hare Airport scenery. It comes with wintry textures as well as the default summer textures. And depending on which one you like to use, you have to copy that version into the custom scenery folder. So if you want to use the summer textures, you have to delete the previous one and copy the summer textures folder. So we cannot use them simultaneously, but right now it's winter, it's looking great. And all in all, it's a pretty great airport scenery. And I also have TerraMaxx enabled, so we're going to have winter textures all the way to Boston. And we can also look into the terminal and see people walking around, which is actually a really nice touch. Yeah, this is a great airport scenery. Hilton right there. And I'm going to fly this beautiful Zibo 737-800. We're United. Actually, it has been a while since I've flown a Boeing 737, so it feels good to be back. I think the very first video I did, it was with the IXCG. And I don't really know much about the next generation family. But hopefully my XCG knowledge is going to be enough. And we have a cup of coffee, most important item on every flight, and ground power unit. Alright, here we go. Let's make sure we have pounds since we are in the US. And fire this baby up for departure. We have passengers. And they look really excited to go flying. Right guys? Oh well. Alright, here we go. Battery. Let's zoom out a little bit. And up there, battery. Let's verify voltage and everything looks great. And emergency exit lights armed. And let's put these guys to nav. On DC lights should extinguish in a while and align lights come on. Well, actually, if I put the external power on, then the on DC lights will extinguish. There we go. Whoops. And put this to heading / status. And test the machine gun. And yaw dampener before I forget. Tend to do that. And window heat and probe heat, I'm going to leave that off for now, since maybe we need de-icing. And packs off. Oh. And let's put this to 33,000 feet, our cruising altitude. And it's going to be on auto. And anti-ice, not just yet. Position up there, and here we go, test everything. And looking good. Fantastic. Now let's listen to the 80s frequency. I think that's the correct frequency on the standby already. Yeah, ASUS.
Chicago O'Hare INTL information mic. 1700 Zulu weather. Wind 240 at 9. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 20,000 scattered. Temperature 7. Dew point 1.
Yeah, let's set the altimeter. And here we go. 680, this looks correct. And iris is aligning. So let's take care of the payload. Let's look at my iPad and the flight plan. Actually, payload looks correct. 40.2. I think the fuel is going to be 17.8 according to flight plan. Yeah, most likely the settings were saved since my previous flight. I did a test run. Yeah, 17.8. And we are well below our maximum takeoff weight. So it looks correct. Alright, now we can go and program the FMC. Yeah, nav data 1912 is the correct one, Chicago. And I'm going to need the GPS coordinates right here. And Chicago already in the scratch pad. And we are going to Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, according to the weather reports, there is a storm in Boston, so hopefully we are not going to divert. And runway 28 right, that's correct. Actually, according to flight plan, there are no standard instrument departures, so we need to go to eBake directly. And actually we only have direct routing all the way according to SimBrief, not using any airways, but hopefully it's going to work out. I haven't done that much flying in the US. But it looked like a really good route, actually. I pulled it off from FlightAware with United. So DKK, Donkey Kong, and PONCT. And that should bring us to our star, 04 right, and GFUN 2, and there it is. And route activate, execute it. Sometimes I forget that step. In the Boeing, it is really important. And performance, let's do 330 right there. According to flight plan, cost index is 51. And reserve, let's put just one right there. And should be automatic, yep. Execute it. And one limit, you have to put the outside air temperature, which is 8 degrees, not that bad. And we have to put the slash, otherwise we don't get the V speeds. I had that problem in the past. And takeoff data, flaps 5. And there are the V speeds. And CG. Yeah, let's take a look. Looks about right. If the trim is not correct, then we get the warning signal. And let's V2 plus 20, 169, and runway heading 280. And altitude, I'll just put transition altitude right there, 18,000. And we have iris alignment. So, flight director, left is the master, and right. So what else? Actually, maybe we need de-icing. Main thing with de-icing is that that no toxic fumes get into the passenger cabin from the de-icing fluid, so bleeds should be off, packs off. Actually not sure about the correct checklist, but these are the main things. And if the pitot heat is on and the pitot tubes are heated, there is a significant temperature difference between the fluid and the pitot tubes, so that can cause us a lot of problems as well. And there's also a specific trim position that should be set for de-icing so no fluid gets stuck. But yeah, we can go ahead and ground services de-icing. Yeah, ice and airplanes do not play really well with each other. Alright, let's say it's enough. And actually we are almost ready for departure. Let's put the anti-collision lights on. And starting the APU. Let's hold it in the start mode a little bit, and EGT is rising. And there is the APU exhaust. Actually, this is one thing you can differentiate the 737 from the A320. Good friend of mine said 737 has 2 holes on his ass, A320 has just 1. And also on the vertical stabilizer there is this part which the A320 does not have. And also the nose is a bit different. 737s are more pointy and the A320 is more round. And these are the main differences. And winglets are also different sometimes. And actually we have an altitude disagree. Most likely our first officer forgot to set his altimeter, being non-existent and all. So that got rid of the altitude disagree, fantastic. And what else do we need? We can switch the APU gen and disconnect the ground power unit. And there's a 1 minute waiting period between the starting of the APU and engaging of the APU bleed. So I'm going to wait with that, and B system can be pressurized. And these guys. Anti-ice, we don't need it. I think the procedure is when the outside air temperature is below 10 degrees and there is visible moisture, then anti-ice is required, but actually it's pretty great weather right now. So, pushback. We do not need to go too far.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
And I think we are ready. Well, actually, let's ask the passengers. How are we doing? Everybody looking excited. Oh, this guy looks like Paul Walker from Fast and Furious. Poor guy, he was a good dude. And Natalie Portman. Alright. So, pushback. Yeah, everything looks ready. Oh, let's put something random. There's a squawk code. Yeah, flying offline, and request pushback card.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And the A system, as I recall from the IXCG 737, A system must be off for pushback. But I'm not really sure about that. Like I said, I haven't really flown 737s in a while. Actually, there are pretty good books out there from Captain Mike Ray, the former United Airlines pilot. And he does a really good simulator check ride series. So he did a really good 737 book.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
And also 757/767, 747 and A320.
Tow connected and bypassed and in service. Release parking brake.
And in the background we can hear World Traffic 3, some other airplane is taxiing most likely, but I don't see any. Great, so we do not crash into one. Actually, this airport also comes with files for World Traffic 3. And parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We need the APU bleed for engine start. And number 1. Engage. Once the N2 hits about 21, then I can add some fuel. And after that I'm going to check if we have any discontinuities. There shouldn't be any because there is a direct routing. And here we go. And there we have the bathtub. This is for the internet, so our passengers have VLAN or wireless. And we have good engine start on number 1 and number 2. Yeah, let's make sure no discontinuities. And there was a vector. Normally I wouldn't clear that up, but and flaps 5.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Alright, parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
And let's make sure everything is configured for takeoff. So, let's switch off APU power. And PAX, oops, dual bleed. And disconnect. PAX on auto. And APU off.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Great, hand signal on the left. So on the auto thrust already. Yeah, normally I would do that before entering the active runway. And auto brakes to RTO. And there's a guy holding up the pin. Fantastic.
From the cockpit, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your captain today. On behalf of the entire flight crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard. In just a few more minutes, we'll have all the doors closed and ready to begin our pushback and taxi out for an on-time departure. During our taxi out, our flight attendants will be showing an important safety video demonstration of the equipment on board the aircraft. I'd like to thank you in advance for your attention to that video. For those of you that are interested in listening into the communications between us and air traffic control, United Airlines is the only major airline that will allow you to do that. You'll be able to tune into Channel 9 of our audio entertainment system, and we'll have Channel 9 available for you once we begin the taxi. So we'll be doing everything we can to make this a safe and comfortable flight for you. Thanks and welcome aboard.
Alright, and we are rolling. Taxi lights. Yeah, put it to TRA. And let's see, weather radar. I don't know if the Zibo has functioning weather radar. And what do we need? Yeah, let's go with weather radar and not waypoints, airports. And 10, range 10 is good. Looks like US Airways A320. Maybe it's Sully. Alright, here we go. Just holding short a bit. Set the parking brake. And let's see, everything is correct. One last check. I'm not sure about the speed brakes, but leave it on. I don't know if I should set these to continuous or leave it on auto, but lights are on. And wing.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Yep, we are ready. Trim is correct, so we don't get that annoying horn. And here we go. We had some aircraft taxiing on the runway. And I don't know where that guy is going. Hopefully he's not crossing our runway. Yeah, looks like he's turning. So we're good to go. Let's make sure nothing is in the vicinity. Yep, sometimes road traffic tree will land on top of you, but here we go. Increase thrust a little bit. Let it stabilize, chronometer. And we can push toga. Here we go.
$80 knots. V1, rotate.
And rotate. Easy. Pick up the nose.
Positive rate.
And gear up.
$400.
And I'm going to fly for a while and then make a leisurely turn to the right. Get on an intercept heading for our waypoint.
1000.
And then engage autopilot. Let's push the nose down a little bit and trim the aircraft. It looks like we are maintaining speed. Gear to the off position. And VNAV. Let's arm it already. And speed is increasing slowly. Auto brakes disarm. And there is our route on the navigation display. And we're going to an intercept heading where we can engage autopilot. Alright, LNAV and autopilot. And here we go. Beautiful wintry landscape. And almost forgot to raise the flaps. Just enjoying the scenery too much. Except for those flickering textures, I don't know. Yeah, these are the default textures for the deep winter option for TerraMaxx. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with orthographic scenery, but it still looks really good. So we can have winter time in Xplane 11. And we have the good departure from Chicago. I don't know what the specific departure procedures are. I have to look it up next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign is on. Please remain seated. When the captain turns the sign off, you'll be able to move about the cabin. When you are in your seat, please keep your seatbelt fastened in the event of unexpected turbulence. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartment. We ask that you use the lavatories located in your cabin, and please don't stand near the lavatories in the galleys. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. For everyone's safety, please make sure your personal belongings are clear of the aisles. I'm pleased to offer personal device entertainment on our United private screenings option, sponsored by the United Plus Explorer card, on-demand movies in the seat back in front of you. If you need to have a headset, we'll be happy to provide one once the captain lets the flight crew get up from our jump seat. After you connect to the United Wi-Fi network, go to unitedwifi.com. You can access united.com and the United app free of charge, where you can check flight status and more. To use other apps and websites, you can purchase an internet access plan. We will be serving a variety of complimentary drinks, wines, craft beer, and other alcoholic beverages for purchase. In United Economy, a variety of snack boxes and refreshments are available to purchase, as well as freshly prepared meals from our bistro onboard menu. You can find more details about the menu in the back of Hemispheres magazine or the seatback guide. We accept most major debit and credit cards, including those with a Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express logo, as well as the Mileage Plus Explorer Visa card. We now invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the service on today's flight. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable.
Okay, now final cruising altitude is set. We are approaching the transition altitude. And no more announcements, at least for now. Yep, 33,000. And almost at 18. Yeah, landing lights are already off. And everything looks great. Yeah, everybody's excited back there. And we can go standard. And first officer as well. And yeah, that's it for departure, and I see you when we are preparing for landing. Actually, I need to cut most of this cruising period out, otherwise it would be a really long video. So see you guys soon.
Seatbelt sign has been switched on. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Alright, here we go. We are on final, and I ended up being too fast, so landing gear is deployed already, and it's a pretty bumpy ride into Boston right now. We have 20 knots, 23 actually right now, of headwind with gusts up to 30. So let's see. Approach is already armed, speed brakes are armed. And let's go with flaps all the way. And auto brakes too. Most likely the runway is wet, but up ahead is 04 right, and we are too slow, so let's go with 150. And glide slope is alive. And we are descending. Hopefully it's going to clear up and we will see the runway. And cancel that one. Actually, I don't think we need anti-ice anymore. And here we go. There is Boston up ahead and the runway is in sight. So let's attempt a manual landing. It's not the best conditions, but let's go. Auto thrust.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
And autopilot. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I was not prepared for that, and this annoying warning, I want to cancel that, but whoa, I'm drifting to the left, and getting pretty significant frame rate drops. I want to cancel these warnings. This is why there are co-pilots, so I can concentrate on flying the aircraft. And we are way up to the left. At this point it should be a clear go around, but I think maybe we can still recover. So challenge accepted. Do not try this at home, because we are 30 knots faster than our approach speed actually. And try to compensate for that wind.
Think rate. 300. Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain. 200.
And here we go.
Too low terrain. Think rate. 100.
And there's a gust picking our nose up, but let's push it down with the power of rudder and kick it to the left. Actually, I don't like my nose, it's way too high, but great landing. And reversers. Yeah, that approach got screwed up real fast. But we managed to make it. Actually, I'm concerned that it was maybe a tail strike. Possibly. Because my nose was way too high. So I'm going to have to watch a replay. But yeah, like I said, it should have been a clear go around. But I wanted the challenge anyway, so still managed to do that. Yeah, that's a problem. I should have an autopilot disconnect button set to my yoke. And when you disconnect the autopilot, normally you have that attitude of the yoke, or I don't know what is the correct phrasing for that, but you have the same position on the real aircraft. In the simulator you have to compensate because the autopilot was using the yoke and turning the aircraft to the right, and I ended up being pretty concerned with those autopilot disconnect signals. Alright, I'm going to stop here and watch the replay. Yeah, it was almost a tail strike. Nose was way up, but anyway, still managed to land in one piece. And welcome to Boston. Looks great right now. Actually, it was really fun flying in the winter time with real weather and get out the old winter textures. So yeah, this is going to be it for this video. I'm just going to taxi to the gate. Actually, let's listen to the 80s once again. Actually quite curious if conditions have changed or not. So 135, get that down to 0.
General Edward Lawrence Logan International Information Papa 2000 Zulu weather. Wind 010 at 20, gust 28, visibility 5, rain. Sky conditions 1000 broken.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But the approach was pretty horrible. But anyway, this is going to be it for this video. And see you in the next one. Hopefully with a better landing performance. So see you guys then. Bye.